Welcome to Xiaoliuqiu, one of Taiwan's premier tropical island paradises. But amid a new wave of tourism, is this the pristine island that we all love and remember? Let's find out as we begin our adventure in Donggang, Taiwan. So, as I mentioned, the first thing we did was we headed to the Huachao seafood market down in Donggang. So what I love about this market is it's right beside the ferry terminal, where we'll take the ferry a little bit later over to Xiaoliuqiu. But first we stop here for lunch, and there is all kinds of tasty seafood down here in the market. You just have to spend maybe 30, 40, 50 minutes, look around, and you're bound to find something that will appeal to you for lunch today. So we just got here. Let's go inside and check it out. So one thing that is particularly good down here in Donggang is, of course, the sashimi. So this is one of the main ports in southern Taiwan. So if you want some of the freshest, most choice cuts, most delicious pieces of tuna sashimi, this is where you're gonna go. So often what people will do here is you will actually buy the seafood yourself. There are countless stalls up and down the market. You can buy your own fresh seafood, and then back in the corners and along the back walls, there are restaurants. So you just take your seafood to the restaurant and they will fry it up for you at a small price. I think what we're going to do is find one of those restaurants. Everything looks so tasty and so fresh. So what we've done, we've spent about $6 Canadian, 150 Taiwanese dollars, and we bought a huge bag of mussels. We're gonna go find a shop to fry them up for us. All right, so the sashimi has arrived. I'm not gonna go through all the food. I'm just gonna taste one or two pieces of sashimi and then show you the spread. So I'm gonna go for the piece of tuna. Look how nice and fresh that looks. Huge, thick cut. Dip that in a little bit of soy sauce and wasabi, and just go for it. Yeah, so that's just nice and cold, almost ice cold. And the salmon, I assume, will be equally delicious. Finished up the lunch. I would say that was very, very tasty. Probably one word of advice: if you're going to get the sashimi, I think you'll probably get a better deal going to the specialized sashimi shops. Not only will you get a little bit more sashimi for the price, you'll also get better variety. So yeah, otherwise everything was super, super tasty. Now it is getting a little bit late. We're gonna go catch the ferry, buy the tickets. When you're finished with the seafood market, your next step is gonna be coming over here. You can see the yellow sign behind me, and this is where you're gonna buy your boat tickets for Xiaoliuqiu to take the ferry across. We paid 420 NT each person. That's about 20 bucks each Canadian, but that's return. So from here, it's about a 30-minute ride to the island. Cannot wait. Good morning, day number 2 here in Xiaoliuqiu. Just woke up from our top secret campsite. We're just gonna wander around, check things out. It's a beautiful, hot and humid day. That's kind of why we woke up so early. The tent just turns into an oven at about 7:30 in the morning. And we're going to explore a little bit. It actually reminds me a little bit of Penghu. Still not quite sure if this is a military bunker. These could be trenches. It's kind of neat the way they look. These sort of hexagonal shapes are painted into the coral. Definitely heading down, and I can feel it's getting cooler as we head down. That is really nice. Oh. Yeah, definitely some kind of military installation. So I suppose you could picture a time when potentially there was a huge artillery cannon right there, making sure that there's no Chinese invasion. I would assume that that's what it would be for. Luckily, we don't need to use it these days, as we are in peacetime. One thing I've noticed since the last time I came here, which was about 6 months ago, there is a ton of new development. New hotels, new bars, new restaurants. I really think that compared to 5 years ago when I first came to Xiaoliuqiu, back then it really seemed kind of a undiscovered tropical paradise. I would say now it's definitely discovered. It's changing. Not in a bad way. I think it's becoming more convenient, but it's definitely kind of lost that undiscovered tropical island vibe that it certainly used to have even just 5 years ago. Hey, that's how the world changes, right? If you find a beautiful place, people want to come, just like I do, so. So on a hot day like this, it's best to pull over the side of the road, and there are all kinds of little tea shops and food stands. I see sausages over there, and I got some chin chao cha, which apparently is good on a hot day. Just came here to a place called Venice Beach, and in my opinion, I think this might be one of the nicest beaches here on Xiaoliuqiu, but you gotta be really careful. It is super dangerous. It doesn't look dangerous, it looks nice and peaceful, but there's something about the ecology of this area that it's got an extremely strong undertow. So I didn't really know that at the time. I guess I just saw that sign and sort of ignored it. I mean, I'm kind of a strong swimmer, but this place in particular, I would say be very careful, because I got out about 20 or 30 meters from the shore. Everything was fine, and then I turned around to come and swim back towards the beach, and I realized that no matter how hard I tried to swim, I wasn't moving an inch. And every time I stopped swimming, I would get sucked out even further and further back into the ocean. So I kind of started panicking. I'd never felt like that before. So luckily I had goggles on at the time. So I put on my goggles and I would dive down to the ocean floor, and I would literally grab a hold of these huge rocks and pull myself back foot by foot, inch by inch towards the beach. It was really terrifying, and I don't think anybody realized that I was actually in a little bit of danger. So be super careful when you're at this beach. Sign says no swimming. Probably take that into consideration and be very careful. Wonderful little Xiaoliuqiu Huandao there. And then turn onto Zhongshanlu, quiet little street here on Xiaoliuqiu, and you will come to a small little tucked away restaurant called AZ Kitchen. And it is here that you will find one of the best burgers on Xiaoliuqiu. Actually, probably one of the best burgers in the south of Taiwan. Let's go take a look. This is why it's the best burger on Xiaoliuqiu. Look at that. Monster. I'm gonna post this on my Instagram story, so make sure you follow me over there if you aren't already, at West of the Sun. Okay? I did mention this a little bit earlier, how much construction there's been this time in particular, as opposed to even 6-8 months ago when I came here last summer. Do I think tourism or overbuilding is destroying Xiaoliuqiu? That's hard to say. I would say we're still at the very early stages of that kind of thing. I mean, there's still so many beautiful, serene, peaceful roads where you don't see any buildings at all. The beaches are still pristine, but for sure towards the center of the island, the main road that goes right through the center there, tons and tons and tons of new hotels and hostels and restaurants and bars. Everybody on rented scooters, everybody heading to scuba shops or dive shops, snorkeling areas. Yeah, it remains to be seen, but I'll definitely be keeping an eye on Xiaoliuqiu and hoping that it remains the tropical Kaohsiung, Pingdong paradise that we all know it as and love it as. That was some honestly extremely delicious mango ice, and one of their specialties at the shop there was cashew ice. So they add a little bit of condensed milk into the water, freeze it all up into a huge block, spin it around, shave all the ice off of that, and then you can add a number of different toppings on top. So good on a hot day like this. Actually, we're just about to leave the island down here at the harbor, about to catch the ferry back to Donggang. And I would say that was a very quick but really fun trip here at Xiaoliuqiu. I always have fun when I'm here, and Evelyn was with me, as you saw. We had a really nice time. Just come down to Donggang, hop the ferry. It's not too far from Kaohsiung. Highly recommend you come to one of Taiwan's tropical paradise islands. And as far as the tourism goes, if you can, I would recommend coming during the week. It's definitely a lot more chill, not as many people, If you come on a Saturday or any of the long weekend holidays in Taiwan, it's going to be packed and you will struggle to find a hotel room, so book early. And so far, even though there's a lot of new construction, I would definitely say that Taiwan still has Xiaoliuqiu as a place that we can call one of the most beautiful little tropical paradises here on the island of Taiwan.